Alright, Royals, you know what time it is. It's time to expose the government, expose the police, expose the banks, expose the Department of Transport, and we're going to expose the fact that bills are absolute bullshit and no one should be paying them. I've been saying this for a long time, but people just like, yo, this dude's been, he's smoking that peace pipe, bro. Yo, he been drinking that Kool-Aid. But, like I said, it's all reality and it's inevitable. I will win. That is why I have Netzach tattooed across there, because the victory is inevitable. Enough of talking about that anyway. If more people actually go buy this book, read it 100 times and enact it. Because if we concentrated on manifesting and creating and sharing this knowledge, as opposed to sharing the fact that they may be poisoning the skies, or we may be going toward a famine, or we may have another pandemic on the horizon, or we maybe will be getting digital identifications, or we may all have to get rid of the cash dollar and move into a cryptocurrency, or we may be not, because it's all a fucking illusion. Where your mind goes, grows. So stop manifesting garbage and start concentrating on shit that can free us and the children to come. That is the awakening. That is the cognitive leaps. When you live in that narrative that isn't even real, that they want you to believe is real, you're asleep. I know that's a hard hitter for a lot of people, but you're asleep. You think you're awake, but you're fast asleep. Let's get this goodness. Registration. We're going to expose the Department of Transport today. Most people believe that when they buy a new car, that they have to register it with the commercial company known as the Department of Transport. What very few people are aware of is the fact that the act of applying for registration confirms that transfers the physical ownership of the vehicle from you, the purchaser, who paid the money, to the state. That is, you have given the vehicle away to a commercial company who has done nothing at all for you and which does not have your best interests at heart. Since it is unlawful to swindle anyone, I would be most interested to hear any reason why this registration should not be deemed to be unlawful, blatant, and an obvious fraud, for there has not been full disclosure of the silent and adhesive contract terms. The change of ownership is shown by the fact that you, the previous owner, are now sent a document stating that your Strawman is now the registered owner of the vehicle which you have just bought. You are left to pay for maintaining the vehicle which you do not own, and which the actual owner will seize and sell the vehicle, which cost him nothing, if you, as agent for the registered owner, do not keep on paying for the use of the vehicle. Seizing the vehicle would not be lawful if the vehicle did not belong to the company doing the seizing. The vehicle will be seized if the registration tax is not paid. That tax was originally introduced as a fund contributed to by the vehicle drivers in order to build new roads and to maintain roads that exist. That was a reasonable idea, which means that all the roads in the country belong to the people who paid the money for them to be built and repaired in the fucking first place. Local authorities say that they can't maintain roads properly as we do not have sufficient funds to do the work. We're on a budget here. The charge is more for vehicles of larger size on the excuse that they burn more fuel and so contribute more to global warming. Bullshit. The real purpose for the increase is to take money from people who have no fucking clue what is going on. There is even a proposal now that motorists be charged for every mile that they drive along the roads which they paid for and own. Wow. That, of course, is not the only stream of income from vehicles. A major source of income is from the massive tax on fuel for vehicles. And it has been stated that an incredible 65% of the selling price is the proportion which is not needed for the location, extraction, processing and delivery of the actual fuel. Yeah. In passing, it can be noted that vehicles can be run on water, compressed air, energy direct from the environment, permanent magnets, and even gravity. It will without doubt be a shock to you that many of the inventors who have done this suddenly disappeared as soon as they started testing their prototypes. Far-fetched? I know of 5 people who have been told to cease and desist or else human. When you understand the billions and billions in profit that are made through selling oil products, actions like that become very understandable, especially since the people who do these things own the police forces and the courts and know that there will be no comeback no matter what they do, but the comeback's coming back with a back slap. So, what about the driver's license? What about it? Well, under common law, humans have the right to travel freely, and that includes using a vehicle when traveling. The legalese people want to persuade you that you are no longer a traveler under common law, but instead, you are a driver. Must have that driver's license. You are subject to their statuettes, and they demand that a driver must have that driver's license. You gotta have the registration tax, you gotta have the car insurance, and you gotta have anything else that they can think and make up. If you wish to live in freedom, and somebody asks, I need to see your license, mate, then the question is, why the fuck do I want one of those? A driver's license is only needed for the driver of a vehicle which is being used in commerce. It can be argued that transporting a straw man is a commercial undertaking, so it would be advisable to not have anything related to a straw man with you on the road. It is also important to not give your name, address, or supposed date of birth, or to show any form of ID, as that places you in a position of voluntarily submission by A. Obeying the command of another human being who is of equal standing to you, B. Associating yourself with and consequently representing a straw man who is automatically subject to all statuettes, being itself a legal fiction joined to that fictional world. It's all an illusion. So, if you are not carrying a passenger who is paying for the journey, and you are not stopping off on the journey to sell things, and you are not transporting a straw man, then you are not a driver with a passenger. But instead, you are a traveller with a guest. And travellers do not need a motherfucking driver's license. And there we have it. Much love, people. I will return tomorrow to expose more of the fraudulent bullshit going on in not just Australia, but Canada, England, America, New Zealand, etc. So, hope you're all enjoying this. Stay with me. This is the road to abundance, freedom.